Well, hello. It's Chris from Gardening at the Simon Getty North. Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do a sourdough discard banana bread recipe. I can't remember where I got this recipe from, but here's the recipe, and I'll put it also in the description box below. And this makes either 1 loaf or 12 muffins. And the ingredients, we need 3 ripe bananas mashed, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, a 1/3 cup of sourdough discard, 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil, I'm using avocado oil, and a 1/4 cup of white kamut or 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. I will be using all-purpose flour, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So I've already got my oven preheated to 350, and I've already got my bananas mashed up. So we're going to go ahead and start getting this combined. So first we're going to go ahead and add the mashed bananas. These are 3 ripe bananas. And we're going to add the eggs and the discard. And this says to put dry ingredients in another bowl. I never do that. I just get my wet ingredients in first, and then I start adding my dry ingredients. So we'll go ahead and add the egg. I always like to make sure that the eggs are good before I just dump them in. Got a piece of shell in there, got that out. We'll go ahead and add the other egg. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add the discard. I've already got, this is 1/3 cup of discard. And then I'm going to add the 1 cup of sugar. This is organic cane sugar that I'm using. Move that out of the way. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just hand stir this. Till it all comes incorporated. I made this once before. It was very delicious. Next, I'm going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of oil since I'm only making the 1 loaf. So I don't know why it says 1 to 2. It's either one or the other. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using the Redmond's real salt. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm using organic ground cinnamon. And then I'm going to mix this up good before I start adding the flour. And this calls for 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. This is unbleached flour. And a 1/2. 1/2 cup. Move that aside, and then we're going to stir this up. And I have a loaf pan lined with parchment paper that I'm going to be pouring this into. Make sure the flour is well combined. So you can also add chocolate chips, walnuts, dried fruits. This would be the time to add those if you wanted to add those in your bread. I usually don't. I usually don't like nuts in my bread. And then we're going to pour the batter in a loaf pan. Let me go get my loaf pan. Okay, I have my loaf pan here that's lined with parchment paper. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. And the discard that I used in here is from an established starter. So if you're just starting to make your own starter, you don't want to use that. You want to use discard from an established starter. And that's what it looks like inside the pan. I've already made several loaves of bread from this current starter. And I'm getting ready to make 2 more small loaves again later today. Okay, so after the batter is poured into the loaf pan, we're going to bake for an hour or until toothpick comes out clean. So I also may need to cover it with tin foil. I think I needed to do that on my last time, even though it came out clean. It still wasn't quite done on the top, but everything else seemed to be done. So probably the last 10 minutes, I'm going to cover it up with some aluminum foil and let it finish baking so it doesn't get too dried out on the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my oven, and I will bring you back when it's done. So here's the banana bread. I'm going to go ahead and stick the toothpick right in the middle and pull it out, and it passed the clean test. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to lift it up and put it on this cooling rack to finish cooling. Let you see the rest of it. Do a little spin. And that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and finish letting it cool, and then I'll cut into it and show you what it looks like. So I'm going to say goodbye here. So if you liked this video, please smash that like button. And if you want this recipe, I'm going to put it in the description box below. And share this video with anyone who might be interested in making sourdough discard banana bread to use up some bananas and use up your discard. It's a great recipe. I've made this before, and yeah. So live, love, laugh, and garden. Hope to see you at the next video, and I will show you at the end after I cut into it. God bless. Happy baking. See ya. So here's the bread ready to cut. I'll go ahead and cut this end piece off. Show you what it looks like inside. Still a little warm. Doesn't that look amazing? And of course you gotta have butter on it. Roxy wants to come in. I think she knows I'm cutting into the banana bread. Take a taste test. That is so good. So there you have it. That's what the banana bread looks like. It looks fully baked, and it's delicious.